Hey everyone, welcome to the Next Bite Fishing Forums. As many of you well know, I'm Jim Hudson, the resident ice fishing expert here at the Next Bite, on the fishing forums, also on the television show, and on our Facebook page. And I'm trying to start a new series of online videos here for the Next Bite, just talking about ice fishing, tips of the week, stuff like that. So this is the first week I'm kind of starting this, and I hope people get a lot of good tips from what I have to say and what I'm going to show you. And you know, if anyone has any questions about ice fishing, I do wish that you would come onto the forums and ask any questions, or send me an email and ask for me to put together a video like this to explain something or show you something, and I'd be more than welcome to do that. At the Next Bite, we're kind of the leading edge of different topics and trends in the fishing world. And we want to do that with ice fishing as well. So just putting together these short videos for you, and hopefully everyone learns something from it. And being that it's mid-December, ice fishing is well on its way. And here in northern Wisconsin, where I'm from, we've been ice fishing for about a week now. Mainly on our inland lakes. Some lakes still, don't have really good ice, but a lot of our smaller, under 1,000-acre lakes, have some really good ice. And we've been fishing bluegills and crappies, and also walleyes. And a lot of people that come to the Next Bite, that's what they're looking for information on, is actually walleye fishing. And with that, here in Wisconsin, one of our main traditions to catch these walleyes is actually using tip-ups. And tip-up fishing has been ingrained in Wisconsin ice fishing for years and years. So I thought I'd put together a little tip section on how we use tip-ups here in northern Wisconsin, how it can benefit you no matter where you ice fish, how it will benefit you in catching more walleyes through the ice. So let's look at what it takes to put together a good tip-up rig for using for walleyes in any waters that you may fish. First, of course, it comes to a good quality tip-up. Here in Wisconsin, we have one that's made locally down in the southern part of the state. It's actually made by a company called Beaver Dam. Why these are the best tip-ups on the market is because of the spool. The spool has a very, very smooth spool. Just like our drags on our open water reels and stuff, this spool has to be very, very smooth. Why? Because you don't want any hiccups in there. When that walleye grabs the line and starts pulling it away, you don't want that spool to bind at any moment. Because when that binds and they feel that little bit of friction, a lot of times, especially in midwinter, they'll spit that hook out and you're going to lose that fish. We have these tip-ups a lot of times set 30, 50 yards away. And when you have to walk that far, that line can be pulled out 20 feet. And within that 20 feet, anytime there's a little bit of friction, that fish could be lost. Another good thing about it is on the spool underneath here, you can undo this, pull the spool out, and re-lubricate. A lot of tip-ups you can't do that. That's a big thing, because each year you want to re-lubricate these tip-ups so you don't get any hiccups. So the first big thing in your tip-up arsenal is actually having the best tip-up possible. Now, the next thing and most important thing is your line. What kind of line should we use? Well, there's two different types of lines that you're going to want to use. One, you're going to want your main tip-up line. It's something that isn't going to freeze. It's not going to cause you problems, and something to fill up that spool so it's easy to manage. And from our good friends at Berkley, they actually make a tip-up line specifically for that. It doesn't allow water to get into the line. It sheds the water good, so when it's really cold out, it's manageable and really easy to use. So usually I put about 50 yards of that type of line on, and that's your main line on your tip-up. And then from there you just use a regular barrel swivel. Berkley makes one, 40, 60 pound test caliber. You want a pretty good line eye on it so you can tie this leader to it. So take your tip-up line, bring it to your swivel, and then you're going to put your leader onto it. And the leaders are simple, same stuff we're going to use for open water. Invisibility is a big thing. We're fishing a lot of clear water for walleyes, so you're going to want to use a fluorocarbon line. 100% fluorocarbon, or my favorite is the Vanish actual leader material. Comes in these small spools. It's made as a leader. That's what you want to use. And for the most part, 10-pound test is what I use time and time again. That allows me to, catch quite a few of the pike that we may catch when we're fishing around walleye water as well, and and plus have a good visibility factor for some light biting or wary walleyes in clear water. So, about a 4 to 5 foot section of fluorocarbon line is your leader. Now, probably one of the most important aspects of your tip-up fishing is actually your hook. Everything's important, but the business end is really important too. What's going to hook these fish time and time again? And talking wintertime, if you've jigged for fish, panfish, anything like that, in the wintertime, small presentations work time and time again. And hiding the hook and all that kind of stuff is very important when it comes to ice fishing. So you got to think about that when you're thinking about your hook. And both a treble hook and a single hook has their time and place when you tip up fish. But you want a hook that's very, very sharp, and one that has a gap that's going to hold that fish after they get on, because you're fighting these fish hand to hand with the tip-up line. So you don't really have a drag. You're using your hands to control the drag. So you want a hook that's going to stay buried and keep that fish on, when they make a good run, and you may slip up a little bit with your hand drag. So Mustad makes 2 phenomenal hooks for tip-up fishing. First is the triple grip. I love the short shank, red colored triple grip. Size 6 to size 8. Size 6 when I'm on big fish water like the Great Lakes, and size 8 when you're on inland waters, when you're dealing with a lot of small fish from 12 to 20 inches and the occasional big fish. But these Mustad triple grips and the short shank are super sharp, and they hide the hook well too, because they're a very small profile treble hook. Other ones have long shanks, and the fish can see that a lot of times. But with the short shank, you get the best of both worlds. A sharp hook, plus you got that nice gap for when you hook it. The fish can move a little bit, and it's going to stay buried. The second hook, great friend and owner here at the Next Bite, Gary Parsons, developed, is the Mustad double wide live bait hook. This hook is phenomenal for tip-up fishing for walleyes. It has a super gap that is open, so when that fish grabs and you pull, that hook is going to bury into that fish's mouth almost 100% of the time. With this hook, I get so good of hookups that this is by far 99% of all my tip-ups or set rigs that I use. The Mustad double wide, and I use a size 2. I like the size 2 for all my walleye rigs. I'll go down to make it a little bit bigger, a size 1 if I'm on the Great Lakes and stuff like that. But the one thing you want to remember with these single hooks is you want the hook point facing towards the head of the minnow. And what I do is I go right along the dorsal fin of the fish, parallel with that dorsal fin, keeping the hook point facing the head of the fish, and I guarantee you're going to hook up a lot of walleyes using that Mustad double wide. So pretty simple rigging for tip-ups. If you've never used them, get these products, spool up a few tip-ups. Remember the Beaver Dam, smoothest tip-up out there on the market, and wherever you fish, as long as you can use 2 lines, use them to your advantage. You're going to catch more fish. You're going to be able to cover more depths and depths of water and depths in the water column using a tip-up. So use them to your advantage, and have a great ice season using it. Try something new. So anyway, just going to end there, and like I said, if anyone has any questions, come on to the Next Bite website. I'll be in the ice fishing forum, the walleye forum, all over the place, on our Facebook page, or you can contact me directly on my website. But leave some of your own tips, or ask for whatever tips. And again, if you want a video created about something that you don't understand, I'll do that. So let me know. So good ice fishing, and we'll see you next time here at the Next Bite forum page.